Hi everyone, and welcome to Series 2 of the Powerful Conversations podcast. I'm Felicity Rudd, your host and an IT portfolio learning specialist here at Powerlink, coming to you from beautiful Turrbal Land in Queensland. At Powerlink, we're proud to play a vital role in powering Queensland's world-class energy future, providing safe and reliable electricity that connects communities and supports industries. But just as important as the energy we provide are the people behind it. This series, I'm thrilled to introduce you to 5 incredible women working in STEM roles right here at Powerlink. Our theme, Every Possibility Starts With You, sets the tone as we get to know their stories, how their journeys, challenges and passions have shaped who they are and led them to where they are today. From diverse career paths to standout achievements, these stories highlight what's possible when purpose, opportunity, passion and perseverance comes together. Our goal is to inspire the next generation of women in STEM and show just how much can be accomplished when you believe in your potential. So whether you're just at the beginning of your career or seeking growth, we hope these stories ignite a spark with you and remind you that every possibility truly begins with you. Let's step into the conversation. Welcome back to Series 2 of Powerful Conversations, where every possibility starts with you. Every voice carries wisdom and every story has a power to spark a change. Today's story begins with Emma. She's a General Manager of Strategic Network Operations here at Powerlink. Emma's not only a powerhouse in the energy infrastructure, but she's a mentor, a systems thinker, and a passionate advocate for inclusive leadership in STEM. A really big welcome to you today, Emma.
Thanks.
So what was your favourite subject at school?
I liked all of them. Don't get me wrong. I liked maths. I was good at maths, but I wouldn't necessarily say I loved any over the others.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't particularly like English. I can say that. I definitely steered towards more the creative or the mathematical style subjects.
And then at uni, what did you study?
I studied aerospace avionics engineering, so a super niche area of engineering. I thought it was cool at the time. I think my guidance counselor at high school said, choose the thing you don't think you're going to get into. The only problem is when you get into it, you're then doing it. I then, while I was at uni, had to do general engineering work experience, and that's when I started out in the power industry doing general electrical engineering experience, and I never left. I was working before I'd actually finished uni at Energex, and then I went straight onto their graduate engineering program once I finished engineering.
And what was the balance like of gender there?
At uni, I was the only female in my course at the time. There was a few others that started out in first year, but they very quickly either changed into other engineering courses or different courses altogether. We stayed close with the other females studying electrical or civil engineering, and we got together and we spoke about all the challenges or worked on projects together, and we made a bit of a cohort no matter what engineering course we were actually studying.
Yeah, nice. And are you still friends with those women today?
Yeah, I have to say those relationships you form at uni never go away. They're quite fundamental to then who you are in later life.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell us a bit about your role at Powerlink. You're the General Manager. What's your division like and what's your day-to-day look like?
So the General Manager of Strategic Network Operations. So I guess my tagline is I'm an oxymoron. So normally network operations is figuring out how we operate in milliseconds and seconds on the network, keeping literally the lights on. So it's very tactical, hands-on, emergency response style area of our business. And what my role is about doing is thinking about how we're going to do that, but on a longer time frame. So there's lots of different things that are happening on our power system in our industry that are fundamentally changing how how electrons are flowing through our network, when and how, and that changes all the things that we've worked on over 20 or 30 years to optimize how we operate the network. They're all changing at the moment. So my team is looking at how do we make sure that we test assumptions that we might have made back 30 years ago to simplify how we do things. Make sure they're still true. If they're different, how different? What do we need to change? What do we need to look out for? And how do we keep the system safe and stable as things change around us?
Wow.
I think it's pretty cool. Like our industry hasn't changed since they first connected up, changed from going localized power stations. Think the power station that used to be at New Farm or the one that used to be at Tennyson. Then we went from having generation sources elsewhere in the state and connecting them up using transmission. Well, we're going through another change, which is how do we connect up more disparate sources that are using wind, solar, other technologies, batteries, and how do we integrate all those things into the grid? So I'm really trying to figure out how we do that efficiently. How do we make sure that we know in 5 years' time in the control room, in the milliseconds, we're going to have the right tools and systems and processes at our fingertips to keep the lights on.
So let's talk about those tools that are available at the moment. So what are some of those technologies that you use?
We're one of the heaviest users on real-time operating systems. So in the control room, we're looking at all our substations equipment that go right up from just north of Cairns, right down to the border where we connect to New South Wales. And we connect to hundreds of thousands of different devices and get information back. And so we have an incredible amount of time series data. We have an incredible need to visualize data easily and simply. And we have control systems that are doing automated control of things like our voltages and control of the network. But it is changing because the network's changing, so our needs are changing.
So how do you stay on top of that curve? Like, how do you stay in touch with what's the latest technology available?
I think for me, it's about making sure you have a team of people that are inquisitive. Like it's not all on my shoulders. I'm not going to be the singular person here that figures out what cool new tech is worthwhile pursuing and what's kind of vaporware or in beta product land. And I do drive my team to have a strong emphasis on we have a lot of tools today, and my question before needing another one is have we utilized the one that we've got to its full extent? Like, how do you make sure we're leveraging the data and tools and systems that we have?
Yeah, that's great. So how long have you been at PowerLink for, Emma?
Just over 3 years now. Yep.
And what has your time been like at PowerLink? Did you come straight into the general manager role?
When I came over to PowerLink, I'd come out of looking after the control rooms for the distribution network for Southeast Queensland. And I'd come out of a period of time where we managed some flooding in 2022. And so we'd been through a big emergency response that year. And then I think it was the first week that I was at PowerLink that we had a full market suspension. So I have to say it was a whirlwind from week one, and it's kind of never slowed down since then. I wouldn't have it any other way, though, because the one thing I'd say is I've never been bored because there is so much happening, so many challenges, so many cool things to get your teeth stuck into. Yeah.
And have you always seen yourself to be a leader? Did you always think you'd be a leader?
Yeah, I giggle because probably not. But then in some extent, maybe yes. I think personality trait-wise, I'm very bad at watching a slow-moving train wreck. I will very quickly, naturally figure out how to stop that train or move the train wreck from happening. And so I think that has made me have a natural tendency to lead. And then I do like having the ability to influence positive outcomes. If you ask me just straight up, do you think you're a leader or that have leadership traits? My normal answer would be no, because it's not something that I ever set out to be. It's something I've found myself in. Yeah.
That's awesome. And has mentorship ever played a part in your role where you are today?
Yeah, big time, I'd have to say. In many different ways, I've had both strong male and female mentors and champions, and the big difference between a champion and a mentor. And I've had both technical, so engineering technical mentors, as well as mentors from a different perspective in a skill area that I've identified that, hey, I'm not good at that. So maybe I should go figure out how to be better at that kind of thing. And I think without people investing in me, I definitely would not be who I am today in industry. And it's funny, I would say one of those mentors is actually working in my team these days. So let's rewind about 7 to 10 years ago. I was reporting to someone that's in my team today. And I remember at the time he said to me, I'll work for you one day. And I of course, said, yeah, don't think so, but sure. Anyway, here we are a few years later. And I think it just goes to show that the relationships you foster along the way, they go two directions, and we complement each other well. And so highly recommend both mentors and champions as well.
Mm-hmm. And are you a mentor for other people as well?
Yeah, I like again, it's probably the self-doubt part and the denial about being a leader is when someone asks me to be a mentor, I'm like, shouldn't I be the one needing mentor? Like, I'm not good at this stuff. But then you remind yourself you started somewhere, and those learnings are something that you can share. So yeah, I am. And it can be scary. The first time you become a mentor for someone else and you're not the mentee, you're like, imposter syndrome is a real thing and you have to overcome that. But it's important to share your learnings no matter what they are.
So what has been, if you can share with us, one of the most rewarding experiences of your career so far?
I'm asked this one regularly and I never answer it the same way twice ever, which suggests to me I haven't got to the most rewarding one yet. But I'd have to say it is seeing others succeed that you might have played a part in, supporting them through something tough or giving them some insight into a project they're working on and it kicks goals or gets them over a roadblock. I do always come back to, in the power industry, it is an essential service. Our communities stop if the power isn't on. And I do think it is rewarding every time if the power goes out, getting it back on is a big win for community. So I guess I don't lose sight of the fact that people sort of don't know we exist until it's a bad day for us and we're trying to get it back on. And I think that is rewarding at the end of the day, getting people back on supply if it's ever off.
Yeah, absolutely. Before we go, if you could turn back time and tell 17-year-old Emma something, a tip or trick, what would you tell her?
Yeah, so I'd say don't focus so much on career or study or goals and make sure you have fun along the way. So I think I did focus so heavily at uni on study and getting work experience and things like that I stopped doing some of the things I loved, like the sport, the music, going to live events. And it's something that I've picked up now that it's what makes me better in my day job. Going to a live music event, and then I'll be randomly in a meeting one day and I'll go, if I had a theme song for the vibe of this meeting, it would be that song there.
That's great.
It can pick up a mood. It can lift your motivation levels when perhaps it's down. Or I've gone back to playing netball after 23-year hiatus this year. And being terrible at something is a really humbling experience. And it's been great because it's just been about having fun, and it hasn't, not focusing on being great or fabulous, just having fun and being terrible.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I mean, that work-life balance is really important there, where you can go home and switch off and reset for the next day, right?
It is.
Because you never know what's going to happen.
Exactly.
Well, Emma, thank you so much for coming in today and having a chat with us. I've really enjoyed listening to your story.
No problem. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us. We hope this episode has sparked something in you, because every journey, every breakthrough, and every possibility truly starts with you.